Today we're going to talk about trail tools. We'll go over some of the necessities to get started with trail building, and then we'll chat about some nice to have items that'll make the building process easier. Whether you're looking to just make a fun little kicker to play around on, or if you're looking to go full scale with complex wood features, we'll cover it all. First, let's take a look at some of the necessities. This first section is dedicated to moving and shaping dirt. Starting with the obvious, you're going to need to have a shovel at a minimum. I prefer to have two kinds though. One is a spade for digging down and getting usable dirt, while the other is a flathead for sculpting and shaping the riding surface. Flatheads work great for digging too when you're harvesting dirt to create a smooth riding surface, but for digging deep to gather a bunch of dirt for features, a spade is probably your best bet. This next tool is a must-have in your building toolkit. The MCLEOD is a specialized tool developed for the Forest Service to create fire breaks when combating forest fires. It just so happens that it's amazing for bench cutting single track and maintaining heavily used trails. To utilize this tool to its fullest potential, I like to sharpen the flat edge to help with cutting roots and undergrowth. The large flat top is great to use for packing jumps and berm faces too, while the teeth work great for raking away deep debris without getting clogged up as easily as a traditional rake would. This tool is a little spendy, but it's definitely worth the price tag. It's so versatile, I've even used it to roughly limb up small trees. Onto the MCLEOD's younger brother, we have another wildfire fighting tool called the PULASKI, which is half super garden hoe, half axe. This tool is great for digging really deep, really quickly, which can be helpful for dislodging large boulders stuck in your path, or helping dig up brush really quickly with the axe side cutting roots to aid in brush removal. If your dirt is coming from somewhere other than your trail site, you're going to need a way to transport your fill. If the path from your dirt supply to your build site is clear, then using a wheelbarrow is going to save you tons of time. But if you're working in the woods where the slope is too steep or just way too inconvenient to get a barrow to your dig site, 5-gallon buckets do wonders to move dirt to where you want it rather than trying to huck it with a shovel. As an added bonus, a wheelbarrow is useful for transporting all your tools around. If you have a rake on hand, it could be of good use too, from raking pine needles, cones, rocks. It's just a useful tool for surface prep and filtering junk from your dirt, but that's about it. What else is there to say? It's a rake. This next section is all about wood. You're going to be dealing with it whether it's removing limbs to clear trail or constructing a wooden feature. If shoveling dirt has got you down, it never hurts to test out your carpentry skills, especially on something that's going to launch you in the air. Machete is good for mucking out a path to make room for you to work. It makes slimming up trees a breeze as well as cutting out thickets. If you use this to clear brush, you may want to have a set of loppers handy too, that way you don't leave a trail of death spikes in your path. A sharp machete can work as well as a small hatchet at times too, so if there's a pesky log-sized branch in your way, you can cut it out. These are great for clean, flat cuts when you're clearing brush or limbs. Mountain biking is dangerous enough, so there's no need to leave behind trailside obstacles that can impale you. Keep your loppers sharp, and they'll go a long way in removing spoke tanglers and face slappers. If you're assembling wood features, you're going to want an impact drill. Not a regular drill, but one that sounds as annoying as this one. I prefer to use screws when building my wood features because they have more and longer lasting holding power than nails do. Armed with a quick chuck, you can use this impact drill for making pilot holes, screwing decking, and driving leg bolts. This is easily one of my most used tools and makes the job go by 10 times quicker when using self-tapping wood screws. Bonus tip, use screws with the star head instead of the traditional Phillips. They almost never strip and you can torque them down with way less effort. If you need to cut dimensional lumber, this is what you need. Either in the form of a circular saw like this, or a miter saw like this. A circular saw is much cheaper to buy though, and can be a little more versatile as you can rip long boards with it too. And to make it more mobile, consider investing in a battery-powered one. This tool is not to be used lightly though. It's one of the most dangerous ones on the list, but used with respect, it's a great addition to your building toolkit. Now, this one is my personal favorite and probably my most used tool in trail building. I have two saws, one big and one small, but if I could only have one, I'd probably go with the small saw. You can use it for trail cleanup, helping debark logs, notching faces when framing features with round lumber, adding texture to your riding surfaces, and in a pinch, replace your circular saw by cutting boards to length. If you don't have any prior experiences running a saw, definitely seek some guidance. This one is a dangerous tool if misused. A hatchet makes prepping logs for building easier. I've mostly used them to strip bark or to knock away the excess wood after cutting notches in a log. In a pinch, they work really well as a hammer, but seeing that I use screws for building, this doesn't happen very often. These next tools aren't really necessary by any means, but there's some that'll either speed up the building process exponentially, or that'll save you from using half of a tube of icy hot on your back at the end of the day. With lumber prices sky high right now, having a way to rip large boards is a nice option, though it takes some major time and effort. I'll usually only do this when I need huge boards that are more than 10 feet long and 10 inches wide. Don't go out of your way to get this just to build trails, but it's certainly nice to have the ability to turn logs into lumber. While it takes some ground prep to make sure you don't destroy it on large rocks or small stumps, using a beat-up mower speeds up the process of clearing your work area from small stringy bushes, tall rake clogging grass, and loosens up the undergrowth to make it easier to clean out. You might get some weird looks from mowing in the woods, and you don't want to use this on steep terrain, but this is a huge time saver when clearing hairy grown-in trails. Just make sure you set the deck to a higher setting. I use this tool I made called the Bushwhacker to aid in removing thick brush on my property, roots and all. You can use a come along instead, but I find this winch to be more effective because of the distance it can pull a bush over. This is only an aid though to help you dig the bush out, not actually the tool to pull it out. Getting tension on the roots of these bushes make it easier to cut out its pesky anchors and pull it out from the middle of your trail. Now this is my tiller, which I've named the Terror Tiller. It's old, lacks safety features of any kind, and loves to randomly pop into reverse to try and run you down. This can especially be unnerving when it's actually spinning the tines. But this thing is awesome for trail clearing. It cuts down to the usable dirt in seconds, and having to plow in the front makes pushing dirt around to shape berms and landings no work at all. While it's massively convenient, you just have to work around its thirst for blood. Do you guys have any tools you'd like to add to this list? Let me know in the comments. Give this video a like if it helped out and subscribe for more biking content. Thanks for watching today, and until next time, keep that rubber side down.